Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2014 John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame Dinner. My name is Chris Wensler from the class of 1990, and I'm your Master of Ceremonies this evening. I will be serving as this Master of Ceremonies as we honor athletic excellence and contribution. This event continues to be an event that we look forward to every year in the athletic department. Personally, this is my 24th dinner, and I have been a part of this, and I continue to revel in the pure joy of this evening. Tonight is a celebration. Tonight is a validation. And tonight is a crowning achievement. One of the most quotable individuals of our time is Muhammad Ali, and he had this to say about achievement. Champions aren't made in gyms. Champions are made from something they have deep inside them. A desire, a dream, a vision. They have to have last-minute stamina. They have to be a little faster. They have to have the skill and the will. But the will must be stronger than the skill. It is that last line that signifies why we honor these 6 individuals that we are honoring here this evening. For them, the will was stronger than the skill. And that is saying something because the skill was obvious to all of those of us who were witness to their athletic achievements. Whether it was the countless hours of football practice, maybe it was the extra time spent in film session or with a coach. Wrestling practice is as tough as it gets, but maybe it was the willingness to put in extra time or learn something new. Coach Mike Moran's practices bring new meaning to the word grueling, but perhaps it was the time spent shooting in that empty gym alone that made the difference. In soccer season, whether it be practices and games, are tests of the mind and body, but the work in the off-season goes a long way into determining success during the season. The will to do more than expected, that is what makes will stronger than skill. As we honor this athletic excellence this evening, I would impart the following advice to our honorees here this evening. Truly appreciate this moment in your lives. After all, how many more times in your life will there be where you will be the center of attention, or where you'll be praised so openly in front of so many people? But never forget that this night is not simply about you and you alone. There were family and friends whose love and support proved to be invaluable to the success we celebrate. And when terms are used like sacrifice and perseverance, adversity and disappointment, jubilation and validation, those terms are never used in a singular vein. These journeys have been shared. So it is with great pride that we salute not just those who are being honored this evening, we also salute all those who helped them get here tonight. This occasion is truly a tribute. At this time, I invite John Carroll University Athletic Director Lori Massa to say a few words of welcome.
Thank you, Chris. In some ways, I have to reiterate some of the things Chris said, not quite as detailed and eloquently, but this is always a very special evening for us. We celebrate not only the achievements of our inductees while they were students here at John Carroll, but we also acknowledge who they are as people and how they represent John Carroll and our mission in their lives today. I love hearing the stories that they tell and how their experiences and their relationships at John Carroll made a difference for them. Eric, Chris, Antoine, who hopefully will get here, Chris, JJ, and Walt, congratulations. And thank you for your contributions to John Carroll through your exceptional talent, and especially for enriching the lives of others while you were here, and which I'm absolutely certain that you continue to do. One of the jobs I have up here is just to introduce the people, some of the people in this room that I want people to acknowledge. From the University Administration, Dr. Mark McCarthy, Vice President of Student Affairs. Dr. Jerry DeSanto, our new University Provost, and his wife, Lynn. Dr. Ed Peck, Vice President for University Mission in his new role. Dr. Sherry Crane, Dean of Students. Mike Roeder, Manager of Facility Services. Dave Vidito, Executive Director of Enrollment. Dave has probably 3 or 4 events to be at tonight. He was here 10 minutes ago. Rory O'Neill, Assistant Director for Annual Giving. Thank you all for the work you continue doing to engage people to support our work. You make a difference in our ability to succeed competitively throughout our programs and growth within our staff and in the development of our student athletes, and we really appreciate it and couldn't do it without you. Next, from the Jesuit community, Father Casey Bukala, Father Bernie McInniff, Father Bill Bickle, and we have a visitor with us tonight, Father Dan McDonald, who's visiting from the province. We have an extra Jesuit. It's a holier place than usual tonight. I want to thank each of you for your work, which focuses on helping students in need and of support, as well as providing a viable and valuable reminder of our Jesuit heritage, and, which is very important to all of us. I would also like to recognize the members of our Blue Gold Club Executive Committee and the Hall of Fame Committee that are present tonight, all of which are involved with the process of choosing our Hall of Fame class. Those of you that are here this evening, please stand. Jerry Schweiker. Mike Pappas. Carrie Volkman. Mike Moran. Brian Cochran. Drew Poppleton, Josh Schneider, Rebecca Masenzik, and Rachel Dell. And last but not least, our president, Eric Byro, who you will be seeing more of in a few minutes. Our athletic administration and coaches work extremely hard to provide support for our student athletes and programs. We have made progress recently in our levels of competitive success, and at the same time added men's and women's lacrosse to our program offerings. As a result, there are increased opportunities for us, including marketing and coverage of our programs, as well as more energized engagement of alumni, parents, and friends. It is an exciting time for us, and it takes a committed group of people to support the growth we have experienced in the last few years and to make it happen. I want to thank our staff, the administrative staff and the whole athletic department staff, and the coaches who continue to dedicate themselves to our goals in support of our student athletes. I want to recognize the members of our athletic administration. First of all, Gretchen Whitebreck, Associate AD, who has managed many of the details this evening. Jane Evans, Assistant Athletic Director of External Operations, who thrives on the engagement that's going on here. And Chris Wenzler, who you met, is Assistant Athletic Director of Communications, the SID, the Master of Ceremonies. He's the master of all trades. And I want to introduce our coaches that are here this evening. They impact the development of our students as well as anyone. And they do it on a consistent basis. There's probably not a day that goes by when they're not making a difference in the lives of some students. First of all, Tom Arth, our head football coach. And members of his staff that are here, Tom Zagorski, Brian Cochran, Chris Shula, Frank Ross. Rachel Dell, our head women's lacrosse coach. Mike Moran, our head basketball coach and golf coach. Alicia Manning, an assistant women's basketball coach. Mo Banton, assistant cross country and track coach. And Kathy Glow, assistant track coach. Last but not least, Carrie Volkman, our head wrestling coach. Carrie, please stand for a minute. For those of you who may not be aware, Carrie has announced that this will be his last season as our wrestling coach. Oh. Carrie's in his 28th year as our head coach and is one of 2 head wrestling coaches in the 50 years of wrestling at John Carroll. The other being Tony DiCarlo, who couldn't be with us tonight. We are grateful for Carrie's dedication to John Carroll and for the many lives he has touched in his roles in advancement, football, and most recently as our head wrestling coach. Carrie, we hope this is a very special year and for you and for your team. I want to thank everyone for being here to support our inductees and supporting John Carroll Athletics. Please enjoy the evening and the many sports in action here this weekend and the homecoming activities that are occurring. And it's my pleasure, distinct pleasure, to bring Father Bacala up here for a prayer. Thank you very much.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Oh God, we believe that you are present with us this evening for this special celebration. You are a God who bestows special gifts on all of us. Your only desire is that we make the most of these gifts. We honor this evening alumni who have recognized your gifts to them, have thanked you for these gifts, and have excelled in making the most of these gifts. Their individual success comes from the encouragement of their parents, coaches, teachers, families, friends, and of course also their teammates. Their individual success rests ultimately, however, on their own hard work and determination to succeed. Bless all of our athletes and coaches of the past, and all the members of the John Carroll University Hall of Fame. Bless all of the athletes of the present. May every young man and woman enjoy their individual sport and succeed in these in full measure. Finally, bless us, O loving God, according to our needs and desires, and grant us peace in the world. Amen.
First of all, how about a nice round of applause for the people at Aramark for their wonderful meal this evening. Tonight's ceremony is being sponsored by our Blue Gold Club, the official booster organization of John Carroll University Athletics. So to officially welcome you this evening, as well as make a few special presentations, I now invite up to the podium Blue Gold President from the class of 2003, Eric Byro.
Good evening, and thanks for coming. I appreciate everyone's support for being here. I'd like to start the evening by representing, or by presenting 2 individuals that have served on our committee for a good bit of time, recognizing them for the service and for the support over the past many of years. The first person I'd like to bring up is Rebecca Misensik. Where is Rebecca? I tried not to butcher the name.
Thank you, sir.
Rebecca is wrong one. Way down there. Rebecca's a 2001 graduate of the university. She was also earned her graduate degree in 2008, and I think the same year joined the Blue Gold Club and our executive committee. And she, for the past 3 years, has served as president of our group and has done a great job supporting John Carroll athletics, and has spent more time than anyone I know other than the administrators of attending all the events and helping promote the Blue Gold Club. So on behalf of John Carroll University and the Blue Gold Club, we would like to present to you this recognition of service award that I would take it out. I just don't know what's going to fall.
Thank you very much.
Where is Dave Nichtane? Come on up, Dave. Thank you. Dave is a 1960 grad of the university and has been around for a very long time. And Dave, in 40 years, if I look like you, I'm going to be doing well. For the past 25 years, he has served on the executive committee of the Blue Gold Club. He's also served on the Hall of Fame selection committee and has done a great job through a lot of the major projects supporting John Carroll and supporting student athletes. And he has accomplished much for the university and for the club. So on behalf of John Carroll and the Blue Gold Club, let me grab this. We would like to present to you the service award for your.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to give this back to Chris. Thank you very much.
Of all the athletes who have ever represented our school in an intercollegiate athletic program over 90 years, only 236 have ever been elected into the John Carroll Athletic Hall of Fame. Tonight, we add 6 more. Before we begin introducing our Hall of Fame inductees, it is important to underscore how deserving they are by briefly explaining the selection process. Each year, the Hall of Fame committee undertakes the task of electing a worthy induction class into the Hall of Fame. To be eligible for the Hall of Fame, a student athlete must be 10 years removed from his or her graduation, and the criteria includes impact on a program, honors and accolades, level of competition, leadership, and community involvement and citizenship. The committee, which consists of over 20 members, begins this assignment in January by compiling a list of candidates that had been assembled through online submissions, submissions by mail, and research done by the Sports Information Office. This year, more than 50 candidates were on the original ballot. Through a series of meetings, the list of names was steadily reduced. The names are pared down to a final 20, at which time the final votes are cast. At these meetings, Hall of Fame teams are also voted upon. What you are witness to this evening are the results of this exhausting yet worthwhile process. These are the 6 candidates chosen most worthy for induction this year. In the history of men's soccer at John Carroll University, it would be difficult to find a more successful era than those of the early 2000s. And there was no more prolific goal scorer in that era of success than our first inductee tonight, Chris Heslop. Chris was recognized by the league's 10 head coaches as the Ohio Athletic Conference for of the Year 3 times during his time as a Blue Streak. But his reputation as a soccer player exceeded the borders of the OAC. He was named All-Ohio and All-Region each of his 4 years, and in 2001, he became John Carroll's 2nd ever All-American in the sport of men's soccer and the first since Drew Carney back in 1984. Chris ended his career with 122 points and 51 goals, both of which ranked first in the history of the program. He also buried 18 game-winning goals during his 4 years as well. His excellence on the pitch was matched by his performance in the classroom, as he was both an academic all-district selection and academic All-American over the course of his career. In his 4 seasons, John Carroll made his first appearance in the NCAA Division III tournament when it captured the OAC tournament title in 2000. Blue Streaks also qualified for the NCAA tournament in 2001 and 2003. the latter of which resulted in the program's first Sweet 16 showing. Chris was part of OAC regular season championships 2 times and OAC championships 2 times as well. And the team record in his 4 years was 58, 16, and 4, including 28, 5, and 3 in the OAC. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame from the class of 2004, Chris Heslop.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. So I was going to start by thanking everybody, but I have to start by apologizing for the incredibly scary picture of myself that's right over here. I actually submitted that photo too, so it's completely my fault. I didn't realize in black and white it was going to look so incredibly frightening. It's been the topic of conversation at table 5 the entire dinner. So. Again, thank you all so much for this incredible honor and for being here tonight to celebrate with myself and fellow honorees. Thank you first and foremost to John Carroll University for giving me the opportunity to have 4 of the best years of my life between 2000 and 2004. The experiences I had in the classroom and on campus and on the soccer field were incredible and life-changing in so many ways. Thank you to the John Carroll Athletic Department and those individuals on the induction committee for choosing me and finding me deserving of this honor. It's very humbling. Congratulations to my fellow honorees. You're each more than deserving of your place here tonight. And I remember watching several of you. There's, I think, about 3 others that were right in that same time frame that I was here. You guys excelled. You were incredible in your individual sports. You racked up honors left and right. And I know that there was a couple of you that stole Streak of the Week honors multiple times from me. So, not bitter at all, I swear. Thank you, of course, to my friends and family over here at table 5 that are here with me tonight. My amazing girlfriend, Rachel, who probably is still a little bit in disbelief because she does not believe that I actually ran around and performed on the soccer field at all. Not quite that active these days, so she doesn't really believe it. But thank you for being here. Thank you to my brother, Matt, who's also here tonight, being part of this to celebrate. He and my sister, Heather, who unfortunately was unable to join this evening, they were always an inspiration to me growing up. I was in an endless pursuit with them, trying to be as good as they were at everything they did. They challenged me to be better, whether it be on the soccer field, baseball field, every sport we played growing up, in the classroom. I was always chasing their tails. So I know I could never have achieved any measure of success if it wasn't for my brother and sister, who were always there for me, always supporting me, giving me guidance over the years. Thank you to my stepfather, Mike, for being here and for always being there. Support me throughout the many grueling practices and games that we took part in. No matter the conditions, you were always out there, watching in the stands, cheering, giving great advice after the games. I remember more than one occasion when the weather was so bad we probably shouldn't have been playing, and you were up in the stands cheering, always out there helping out, giving me guidance. Thank you so much. It's always meant so much to me, and thank you for being there then and for being here now. An incredibly special thank you goes out to my mother, Kathy, for all that you've done for me over the years. You've been an inspiration and a guiding force for Matt, Heather, and I. You raised 3 of us, almost entirely on your own for the most part. You never wavered, never faltered when times got tough. Your undying love and support have always been there to shape me into the man that I am today. You've helped me grow to be a better person. I know I wasn't the easiest child to raise, probably a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes. Tracked a lot of mud and dirt through the house and into your car after games and practices, so sorry about that. I broke a couple lamps and windows with soccer balls while I was practicing over the years. Probably shouldn't have tried to throw them in the trash can and cover it up, but so be it. Put up with all that. You put up with me over the years, and I can't thank you enough. You've continued to support me throughout all my athletic pursuits and beyond. You've always been there for me with a smile, a hug, and I love you, no matter whether we won, lost, or tied. Can never thank you enough for everything. I love you. Thank you to my coaching staff during the years I was here at Carroll and all the coaches that preceded them. To Ali Kazamani and Sean Carney, I truly appreciate all that they did for me to advance my career while I was here at Carroll and to help shape me into the man I've become today. However, I certainly would not be here tonight if not for the support and efforts of my teammates. There were many of them over the 4 years, but there was a couple of them that were able to join me here tonight, so thank you all for being here. I'd love to sit here and tell you that I was the best soccer player on the field at John Carroll from my freshman year to senior year, but that would be a flat-out lie. I was fortunate enough to share the field with some of the most talented individuals to ever step on the field here at Carroll. They were more skilled and versed in the game than I could ever hope to be. They helped shape me into a better person and player over the years. I could never have achieved any type of success without them. I would still probably be making pointless runs downfield, waiting for through balls to come in or balls over the top if it wasn't for the skill and talent of these guys being able to get the ball to me and put me in the right positions to be successful. As again, some of these gentlemen are here tonight, and I believe this honor is as much theirs as it is mine. A sincere thank you to not only some of the best teammates that anyone could ask for, but also some of my best friends to this day. Thank you to TJ Kolba, Dusty Stelmack, Kevin Patorik, and Phil Mansell for joining me here tonight, and for always being there on the field and as friends. You all somehow found a way to make me look good on the field, and thanks, I appreciate it, guys. There's a good quote that I love from Bill Ansparger of the Miami Dolphins. You can accomplish a lot if you don't worry about who gets the credit. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I think our teams over the 4 years I was here really embodied that spirit. We played for each other, gave everything we had, regardless of the outcome, and we had a great time doing it. The teamwork and camaraderie led to an unprecedented level of success on the field, and winning conference championships and advancing to the NCAA tournament numerous times, including, as Chris mentioned, the first time ever in John Carroll history. It was an amazing ride. I was blessed to be a part of it. Thank you all so much for indulging me for all these thank yous. I know there was a bunch of them. And for giving me a chance to relive some of these amazing memories and some of the best years of my life. Although I truly believe that the best years are still ahead. Cheers to all of you, and thank you again.
One of those fun phrases that we hear in the world of sports a lot is a lunch pail guy, which is used to describe a hard worker who shows up on time for practice every day. If there was ever a John Carroll wrestler who fit the description of lunch pail guy, it is our next inductee, Walt Karenbauer. Over the course of a brilliant career, Walt was a 3-time national qualifier, winning 68 matches over the course of that career, including 47 in his final 2. On 2 occasions, Walt captured the Ohio Athletic Conference Championship at 126 pounds, doing so in both 1992 and 1993. He advanced to the national championships both of those years, reaching the championship semifinal round, placing 6th in both occasions. In each of the 3 seasons that Walt started, the Blue Streaks took home the team conference title. In his 2 All-American seasons, the Blue Streaks finished 5th in the nation and 12th in the nation, and posted a record of 50-11 in dual meets, including an incredible 26-1 in Ohio Athletic Conference matches. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame from the class of 1994, Walt Karenbauer.
For any of you guys that are wondering, I don't weigh 126 pounds anymore. I think I weighed 126 pounds for about 5 minutes every year. So. I'd like to obviously thank everybody, and I'm pretty sure I'll have as many thank yous as Chris did, so I certainly shouldn't feel bad about that, but thank you to the Blue Gold Club. Thank you to Chris, who always does a fantastic job. Gretchen for making everything so simple that even I could understand it. So did a great job of organizing the event. Of course, also my wife, my kids. I had to drag here, kicking and screaming. They weren't real fond of coming to an event, so but I'm very happy that they're here to enjoy this with me. For my wife, I've been together with her since our sophomore year, and this award is certainly just as much a part of her as it's part of me. So thank you. Then, of course, the guys that are sitting out here in the center. We spent a lot of time with John Carroll, during my time, your time here, and obviously you're probably one of the main reasons I'm standing up here, so thank you very much. Then I get to the two, well, I guess you say three other people that I really need to thank. First is my parents, just simply for raising me the way that you did. You always made sure I had the things that I needed, but made me work for the things that I wanted. So it obviously always instilled something very, that work is the way to get it. So very much appreciative of it. I don't think when I was a kid, certainly like most, I didn't appreciate it at the time when I wanted something and they wouldn't get it for me. But to this day, I certainly do. And the other thing that I really appreciate that I probably didn't understand at the time, but probably the struggles that they had to go through to put me through John Carroll University. A lot of what I'm going to repeat here is in the book, so, but it all means a lot to me. I came to John Carroll, and I really didn't visit anywhere else afterwards. I didn't know, I wasn't the most academic of types, I guess you'd say, but so I wasn't out scouring the earth for colleges, but once I came to John Carroll, I knew where I wanted to go. So I met with Coach Bontempo, Coach Volkman, and there was never an issue after that. They never questioned me as to why. Really, they just made it happen. And even though financially, I'm sure it was not the easiest thing to do, just know to this day that I'm very appreciative of it. The one other thing I need to talk about, and it's in the book that's on the tables, but I think it's pretty significant that when I was in the 7th grade, I went out for wrestling only because the football coach said that I was going to be the next great football star. Well, I grew up in Massillon, Ohio, which a lot of you may know of, but I didn't realize my 4'6" frame and my whopping 68 pounds wasn't really going to beat a lot of people up on the football field. So it took a couple of years, but during that season I went through 2 or 3 weeks of practice and I wanted to quit. And my mother and father, they probably have not thought much more than a second about this in 30 years since that happened. But I've thought a lot about it, period. And, it was hard. I was getting my butt kicked, whatever it was. I came home one day, I said I wanted to quit. And their response was, absolutely not. Or something like that. So anyways, that one decision, they could have given in to a whiny little 7th grader, just to make life easy on them and on me. But thank God they didn't, because if they would have, my life would turned out, I don't know if it would have been worse, but it certainly wouldn't have been the same. And I kind of like the life that I have. So, thank you. The other person I need to thank is Coach Volkman. As was announced earlier and has been pretty much everywhere, this next season is going to be his last as the head coach at John Carroll. Can't really mention how many things I learned from Coach. A lot of them I certainly can't mention in this room. But the one thing I took away from life, and I don't know if it was everything he said or what he did, it was probably a combination of them. It was to try to do the right things the right way. And probably, didn't understand it as well at the time, but at this point in my life, I always try to do the right things the right way. And it doesn't really mean that things are going to turn out the way I want them to. Sometimes they still don't work, but there's never any regrets, and I can tell you the good things come about a lot more than the bad when you make your decisions like that. So, it's very near and dear to me. The other thing I'd like to say to Coach, and I think I can speak for pretty much everybody that wrestled for you, I want to thank you for the time that you spent with everybody. Very grateful for the guidance that you've offered. And the one other thing is I'm very thankful for the continued friendship since I've left the university. So thank you. I mean, Coach B was really, you know, he was more than a coach. You know, he's something that the guys I coach these days, I only coach high school, but I hope I can have half of what I had with Coach Fulton. So I guess, you know, on a wrestling note, very honored to be here with obviously all the other alumni that have been honored in the past and are being honored tonight, but certainly I'm very honored to be part of the wrestling alumni. I think it's a really special group. I can vision back to the days when I was a freshman and I didn't start on the team, but I got to go to nationals. And, you know, we get there and some of the names might not mean much to a lot of you guys, but running around the hotel are Jim Weir, Mark Haywald, Chad Gross. These are guys that are all national champions, and I mean, they're the way they started the thing, and they're the way that we are, you know, why we were what we were. You know, the teams that we had, I think we were pretty good as well. You know, we had I think some great teams. We had obviously some great times. We had a lot of wins. A lot of wins. And we had a lot of memories as well. So I'm very thankful that these guys are here to share this with me. It means an awful lot. I could stand up here and talk for hours about the wrestling team, about the school, about the people that I met. I'm sure I probably passed my 5 minutes at this point, but you know, want to be thank you very much for everything.
The legendary football coach Bill Parcells once said, "I like linebackers. I collect them. You can't have too many good ones." Well, Coach Parcells would probably agree that it was good fortune of John Carroll University to have collected Chris Cubero in the fall of 1999. Although not originally destined to arrive in University Heights, once he settled in, he was destined for great things. Chris was a standout defensive player who was a team captain as a senior and a 3-year letter winner that excelled inside the classroom and on the field. He was a part of Blue Streak squads that went 26-8 overall during his final 3 seasons. In 2002, he became a starter and was first team All-OAC, compiling a team leading 149 tackles. He was a consensus All-American that year as well. He was a leader of a defense that helped John Carroll capture the East Region and reach the national semifinals of the 2002 NCAA Division III Championship, posting a final record of 12-2. Off the field, Chris was twice selected Academic All-OAC and was a recipient of the Clyde Lamb Award, the Scholar Athlete of the Year in the OAC. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame from the class of 2003, Chris Cubero.
I got to say, this is obviously a great honor to be here tonight. Not only to be inducted, but more so for the people that are here, obviously all our friends and family. It means so much So, hey. I'd like to thank Gretchen and her team for putting all this together, Blue Goat Club, and obviously my fellow inductees. Carroll is a very special place, obviously for all of us. You've already heard from two fellow inductees. It's something that's really unexplainable of how special it is. This university means a lot for various reasons, primarily because the faith that I had before arriving here became much stronger. The people I've met and still keep in touch with, and my experience playing football is a blue streak. This place taught me to challenge myself as well as others to be better every day, and never to be satisfied just being good. Be great in everything you do every day. My wife makes fun of me. In our family room, we have a built-in in there, and I have my 2 football helmets and a picture of a captain's squad right in the middle. From time to time, I'll bring out some tapes and watch, and I hear her say, "Hey, glory days, give it a rest." But truth be told, playing football for Carroll created some of the greatest memories I have and will have. I was fortunate enough to be on one of the greatest teams in Carroll football history. We had a phenomenal senior class that we had true leaders that led in various ways, and we just knew how to get it done as a group. 12 wins led us to the national semifinal game. To be on a team like that and still be honored like this makes this all the more phenomenal to me. Football's influenced really who I am as a person, both as a father and as a businessman. But all the memories I had that came from Carroll probably wouldn't be possible for my family, who I value, cherish, and love with all my heart. In particular, my grandparents and parents, who are my mentors and the people I look up most to. My mom and dad sacrificed a lot for my sisters and I to have educations and, quite honestly, to be where we are today. They're the people I learned about work ethic, drive, and passion from. Very special people to me, who are great parents and generally great people. My grandparents, who flew in here from Colorado. My grandma is probably the sweetest, most generous person that you could ever meet. My grandpa is a man of faith and family and love. He's the one who taught me about the importance of education and the importance of maintaining the relationships that you created through football and through school. I was very fortunate enough to have him and my uncle, my senior fly out for the last 5 games and experience what we did as a team. Probably the most special person I need to recognize is my best friend and my wife, Jennifer, who's an incredible mother and wife. I'm so glad you're here tonight to experience this. To experience a little of what I experienced for 4 years, just this campus, the feeling of Carroll and the people of Carroll. To my brothers who made it tonight, Rada, Reardon, to George, Wass, Dosh, Kola, Savage, Brooke. You guys mean the world to me, and I'm extremely blessed to have you guys here tonight. Probably the biggest thing that you guys have I've embraced from you guys is it wasn't always about me, it's about us. You guys taught me how to have confidence myself and in playing and just as a person in general. Probably one thing I'll take away from right before we were seniors at 2 days. Brian was Brian played linebacker next to me. He was my roommate, junior, senior year. He put everything in perspective for me as we were going into 2 days, which usually you dreaded. But he said to me, Coobs, do you know how lucky we are? For the next 2 weeks, we have to play football all day. Don't worry about anything but playing football. And all I thought to myself is, why didn't you tell me this 3 years ago? Would have made it so much better. It's extremely special for me to have, if you play linebacker, it's, first of all, you probably have a mental disorder because it just takes that type of person to play that position. I have the two guys that played next to me, which means so much. I can tell you, as a defense, we all had the same mindset, and that was pretty much to destroy the person across from us. And to let the other team know that it was going to be a long, long day. Our team was very special, both on offense and defense. We had a lot of talented individuals, but more so we had heart as a team. Our motto for our senior year was from within, which put everything really in perspective for who we were. From within you gather your strength from God. From within you use that strength to contribute to a team. From within you find out when you're down how strong you really are. From within is what I still think about every day. As it's from within that we need to look to be great fathers, husbands, friends, and brothers. So again, thank everyone. It's a great honor, and we really appreciate putting this all together. So everyone have a great night. Thank you.
Dick Mann was the head track and field coach when two of our inductees tonight were competing. As he passed away not too long ago, it seems right to acknowledge one of his many great quotes. He once said, "There's no better sport in the world that is better than track to see what type of character a person has." He also once said, "Here at John Carroll, we have a team of characters." One of those characters who showed his true character is our next inductee, Eric Byro. By the time Eric graduated in 2003, he left with a cavalcade of awards and accomplishments. He was a 4-year letter winner on the track team, racking up 10 OAC titles in 7 different events covering both the indoor and outdoor seasons. He earned all-conference honors an astounding 20 times and was named MVP of the 2000 Ohio Athletic Conference Outdoor Track and Field Championships. A 6-time provisional national qualifier, he added All-America to his resume in 2001 by running on a leg of the 4x400 relay that finished 4th in the nation. At one point, Eric held 10 school records, 5 of which still stand today, to go along with the 71 titles he won at meets throughout his career. He is a proud member of the 2002 OAC Outdoor Championship team, which marked the first league title for the school in 25 years. In his postgraduate years, Eric made his way back into John Carroll Track and Field and served as an assistant coach where he helped the program with recruiting in addition to his own work in both track and field events. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame, from the class of 2003, Eric Byro.
Thanks, Chris. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'd like to start by congratulating the other 5 inductees that are here today. Have participated in some sports with some of these guys that are here, and heard a lot about others and read a lot about others that were here. I'd like to thank John Carroll University, the Blue Gold Club, and the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for honoring me tonight. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I thank you very much. I could stand up here and probably talk for an hour and tell you track stories left and right. And I might mix a couple in, but I really need to let you guys know that I am here because I've always been surrounded by amazing people. And I'd like to recognize and thank a few of them tonight. And I think this journey starts with my father. He was a standout sprinter in high school, and he kind of promoted track right from a young age and taught me you know, at 3-4, how to run and proper technique and how to use the blocks. And he's the main reason that I got interested in track. Now the training part also started at a young age, because if you've ever tried to outrun a track star holding a belt, it is very hard to do. And I was a very bad kid, so I had a lot of training. But in all seriousness, he provided tremendous support throughout the years. He got me involved in Junior Olympics as a child. He was there through junior high. He was there through high school and at all the collegiate meets. And you know, I remember, you know, again, going back to my early days, seeing all the trophies and the medals that he had won, you know, in his youth, and thinking, you know, I want to do that. I think track's where I want to be, and I want to be an athlete, and I want to be like Dad. So you know, Dad, thank you for your tremendous support, and a lot of that continues to this day. He's in business and I'm in business, and it's great to still be close with him. The second person I want to thank, you know, is not here, and that was my track coach here, you know, Dick Mann, and he passed away a couple years ago. I came to John Carroll for a couple reasons. My grandfather came here. I think he graduated in '51. He went through this business school, and I knew this. I wanted to do business, and the third reason was because of the amazing coach and legendary coach that was here. Now, when I came on a recruiting visit senior year of high school, I didn't know who the track coach was. I didn't know much about John Carroll other than my grandfather in the business school. But when I saw who was our coach here, it kind of pushed me over the edge. Now, many people might not know Dick Mann was head coach at Cleveland Heights High School prior to coming here, and I think he came here in '98. Well, when I was a sophomore at Mentor, we ran in a dual meet at Cleveland Heights, and during the meet, there was a discrepancy in who placed second and who placed third in the 200. And needless to say, Dick and my head coach at Mentor were rolling around on the infield to try to figure out who took second and who took third. The clipboard went flying, and Dick always carried a clipboard in track. He never wrote in a damn thing. But at a moment's notice, it would go flying across your head. And I remember seeing that clipboard flying. And when I came here for my recruiting visit, I knew this is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be somewhere and run for someone that had that much passion over one place in a dual meet. And he was an extraordinary coach. He taught me a lot, but he was a pure motivator. And I have some stats here, because the things that he did here as a coach, I don't think can be overlooked. In 2002, we won our OAC outdoor championship, and it's the only one to this day that the men have won. 9 individuals under his tenure became All-Americans. Many of them multiple All-Americans. You know, Dunklin being one, George Sample being another. And 3 of the 9 became national champions. So he did some great things here, and that can't be overlooked. And he's passed on, and I often think about Dick and think about, you know, his legacy, and I don't really think it was about track and field. I think you know, he had such a passion for life that I think he just wanted to make better men of us. I think that's what it came down to, and I got no doubt in my mind that, you know, he left me better than when he found me. So, you know, again, he can't be here tonight, but Donna Mann, his wife, is here. And I want to thank Donna, because not just for coming, but also she provided a lot of support. She was Coach Mann's right hand gal, and she was always at the meets. She filmed a lot. She made sandwiches, and she always provided support to us when I was here, and then after college as well. So I thank you for coming. Another person that I'd like to thank is here as well, and that's Coach Kathy Glow, who I high jumped with for 4 years at the university here. And we did some great things, and she became a close friend when I was here as an athlete and beyond, and I've coached for 6 years, this past 6 years in the program, and I've been fortunate enough to coach alongside her, and she is a wonderful coach and a very knowledgeable coach, and has put a good group of All-Americans into the Hall of Fame, and there are more to come, and she's done a great job at that. I want to thank my teammates. I ran with a great group of guys and gals on the ladies' side that, you know, I would not be here if these guys didn't push me along. And they accomplished feats that you know, I'd only dreamed of and wish I could have accomplished. And a lot of these guys are here today. Dunklin's here, Sample's here, I see Brad, and I see John Holine, Drew Poppleton, and probably a couple more out there. And it was an honor to run with these guys. And you know, Dunklin and I were fortunate enough to run all 4 years together. I ran against them a couple times in high school, and we ran similar events, and we competed heavily against each other. And there was a little rivalry going on there. And I actually have a pretty good story to tell. I'm going to call him out here. So senior year, Dunklin had a work, kind of a management training program I think he was getting involved with Walgreens, where he ended up working a lot of nights, late nights, like 2, 3 in the morning. In our senior year, we go down to Columbus for All Ohio Championships. And we're getting ready for the 400. Well, I'm getting ready for the 400. And he's ranked 1 in the state, you know, by a good amount. I was ranked 2nd or 3rd, whatever it might be. I'm warming up because that is the right thing to do for like an hour. I had a bad back, so, you know, Kathy's rubbing the back out. You know, getting heat applied, and Dick Mann comes running over, screaming at me like I had done something wrong. And he says, "Byron, you have got to wake up Dunklin. He is sleeping." And I look over, and he is 10 minutes prior to our 400 race. He is on the ground sleeping. And I'm the only thing I can think of is, you know, the light bulb goes off, and I'm thinking, this is my day. I got him. He's not ready for this race. I'm gonna beat him. It was a bloodbath. I wasn't even close. They had the markers on your back with the numbers. Coming down the home stretch, couldn't even read the numbers on his back. He was so far out in front. But getting back, you know, to the teammates, it was great to run with him. It was great to run with such a good group of guys and gals, and I really appreciate it. And thank you for coming here tonight. And you know, my luck with being surrounded by extraordinary people continue to this day. 7 years ago, I met my beautiful wife, Hallie. We have, where's she? Over here. She's over there now. We have two beautiful kids. Eric's 3, Brooke is 1, and she is now taken on this responsibility, which I don't know how she does it. I really outkicked my coverage here, but I love you, and thank you for supporting me since then. And again, I'm the luckiest man alive. I want to thank John Carroll. I want to thank the Blue Gold Club. My heart, you know, will always be a streak. I will do whatever it takes for the rest of my life to support this university and to be a member and a family member of this university. So again, thanks for everybody coming tonight. I really appreciate it.
One of the great sports idioms is the diamond in the rough, the player that comes out of nowhere to become a standout. J.J. Richardson may fit that mold. Sure, he came to John Carroll as the all-time leader for three-point field goals made in a game, season, and career at Harbor Creek High School in Erie, Pennsylvania, but little hype followed him down Interstate 90. What followed was a career that defined him as one of the best shooters in the history of John Carroll men's basketball. 17 years after he last stepped on the court, he still stands as the best shooter from behind the arc in program history. He was a member of the Blue Streaks basketball teams that set the tone for the program's current winning ways, helping John Carroll win the first of its 10 OAC titles in 1994. He also played a major role in John Carroll winning the 1996 OAC title and qualifying for the NCAA tournament in both 1996 and 1997. His efforts helped the 1996 and 97 Blue Streaks to their second ever 20-win season. In 1996, he became the second John Carroll player ever to earn first-team All-OAC honors en route to a spot on the All-Great Lakes region team. He followed that amazing junior season with a senior year that saw him named All-OAC again, Academic All-OAC, and All-Great Lakes region. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame from the class of 1997, J.J. Richardson.
They never make these things tall enough.
Well, it's too high.
I'm glad I didn't have to go after you. There's a technique in public speaking to combat nerves. They say you should picture your audience in their underwear. I'm not going to do that. Decided not to do that, so you're all safe. Thanks, Chris, for that kind introduction. Thank you to you and Melissa for your friendship and your mentorship all these years. I also want to congratulate Chris and Walt and Chris and Eric and Antoine. It's an honor to be sharing this night with you guys. I wish I would have had the chance to see you compete, but I know your reputations, and it's really a privilege to share this night with you. I also would like to thank the committee for their consideration. I know that it's a very difficult decision every year to decide who's worthy of the Hall of Fame. There's so many great student athletes that have represented our university over the years. It's a privilege to even be considered, so thank you for that. As Chris said, when I came to John Carroll, I wasn't ready for college basketball. And I learned that pretty quickly. I couldn't run very fast. I didn't jump very high. I didn't rebound very well. I still struggled to guard ninth graders. And actually, after 4 years, not a lot about that changed. I thought that I could dribble and pass and shoot pretty well. And after 4 years, I think there was still some debate about whether I knew how to pass. But nonetheless, I had so much help along the way from teammates and coaches and administrators and professors, and I'm grateful to all of them. And there's too many to mention in one night, but a few people that I have to thank. I had the privilege of sharing the floor and wearing the same uniform as 3 players who are already in this Hall of Fame. Incredible players. David Funstein, who couldn't be here today, Artie Taylor, and Mark Heidorf, who are both here today. I'm grateful for that. It was an honor to wear the same uniform as you guys. Thank you for demanding excellence from me every single day. You made me better. I couldn't have been the player I became without your influence on me. It's an honor to be joining you in the Hall of Fame. I also need to thank several upperclassmen who, not only for the ass whoopings, but also for the mentorship and the friendship along the way. David Tucker, Shannon Vickers, Andy Henton, Ryan Tyson. You guys were my big brothers on the team, and I appreciate your friendships. I appreciate you for taking me under your wing and for exemplifying to me how a college basketball player competes every day unselfishly for his team. I owe each of you very much. I also had the privilege of playing with some very talented classmates. Only 4 of us made it to the finish line. Those 5 a.m. practices were rough. David Funstein, who I already mentioned, and my good friends, John Samuel and Joe Bigler. John Samuel, the consummate lunch pail guy, like Chris mentioned. He does all the things that don't show up in the stat sheet, but you have to have in order to win games. And Joey Bigler, one of the greatest all-around guards in Division III basketball, I believe. Thank you for being such great teammates, for being such good friends. I'll always be so proud of what we were able to accomplish together in 4 years. As I said, we had a lot of talented teams when I was here, but all that talent won't win a game unless it flies in the same direction in formation, and that's where our outstanding coaching staff came in. I want to thank Coach Bob Straub and Coach Sean O'Toole for teaching me how to be tough, for emphasizing defense and rebounding. I'd like to thank Coach Larry Arthur, who's here today, for picking up my confidence when I was down, teaching me the mental aspect of the game, helping me understand my role and how I fit into this team. Coach Tony Redding was a great help to me. He taught me how to prepare and how to compete, how to be mentally tough. And Coach John Stedman, we all miss you so much. Thanks for your constant positivity. I knew when you yelled at me, I had really screwed up. We couldn't have done any of this without you. And I know that you're coaching in heaven, yelling at someone to throw the ball inside. And finally, none of our success would have been possible without the CEO, Coach Mike Moran. You're a legend, Coach. Everyone knows it in this room. I hope the university appreciates what they have in you. I know your former players do. I know your current players will someday. Thank you for the opportunity you gave me to represent this university on the basketball court. Thank you for knowing when to tear me down when I needed it. Thank you for building me up when I needed it. And you were always right. You taught me how to prepare, how to compete, and how to be a man. I'll always be indebted to you for that. And finally, I would have never been in a position to come to John Carroll and play basketball if it weren't for the support of my family, friends, and mentors back home in Erie. My friend and mentor Norm Sweet is here today. I want to thank you for the time you spent teaching me the game of basketball. I could have never done any of this without you. But more than teaching me basketball, I'm thankful for the example you set for me. You were my role model. You taught me how to be nasty on the court, how to be a gentleman off the court, and you showed me how a man takes care of his family and his community. And I'll owe you that for my life. To my sister, Regina Richardson, you're an inspiration to me. You were an inspiration then, you're still an inspiration to me today. The second toughest person I know, next to our mom. To my brother, Ron Richardson, I'm so thankful to have such an outstanding man as my brother and my friend. You are my biggest fan, and I am yours. And finally, to my mother, Ellie Richardson, I never would have had the chance to go to John Carroll and improve my life if it weren't for the things you did. You know what they are. You worked full-time, you raised 3 kids by yourself. And to see all of us turn out okay today, I think that makes you a hero. And whenever I needed strength on the basketball court, whenever I need strength in my personal life today, I know that it's the DNA you passed down to me that I'm tapping into. And I thank you for that. You're the one that belongs in the Hall of Fame, and I love you. When I think about my time playing basketball for John Carroll, the thing I think I'm most proud of is having been a part of a team, a special group of players and coaches that initiated a culture that continues today. And that was a culture of hard work and trust in each other and character and winning. And I know that my teammates today and my teammates from the past are all so proud when we follow the team and we see that that tradition and those values are still alive and well in the John Carroll basketball program. John Carroll basketball is a special thing. I'm privileged to have been a part of it. So in closing, I'd like to thank each of you once again for allowing me the opportunity to represent the school on the basketball floor and in the classroom. Thank you for the opportunity to relive some of those moments tonight and this weekend. I promise to continue to represent our school and its mission and its Jesuit ideals in my profession and my community and with my family for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Our final inductee of the evening enters the Hall of Fame as a multi-sport athlete. Antoine Dunklin was a 4-year Leonard winner in football and track and field, making significant impacts in both sports. On the football field, he was a starting wide receiver on John Carroll's 2002 national semifinalist team. As a senior the following year, he led the team in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns, placing him on the All-OAC first team. His career totals in receiving yards is among the top 15 all time, and his 19 touchdowns rank him 5th in the history of John Carroll football. On the track, Antoine was a 5-time OAC outdoor and 2-time OAC indoor track champion. He was All-OAC 14 times over the course of his career and was a member of that fabled 2002 OAC outdoor championship team, which marked the first league title in 25 years. Antoine was an All-American as part of the 4x400 relay in both 2001 and 2002, finishing 4th and 3rd respectively. He also finished 4th in the nation as an individual in the 400-meter run to earn All-American status. Ladies and gentlemen, we're glad he's here. Please welcome to the John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame, Antoine Dunklin.
Thank you very much. It's a long day. I live in Fresno, California now, and I flew in from Phoenix last night to O'Hare, and then there was this big thing in O'Hare. I don't know if you've been watching the news, and all the flights were canceled. I'm like, oh, not today, not today, not today. This is my day, this is my day. So, I'm on the phone with American Airlines on one phone. I got 2 phones over there. I'm on American Airlines, United Airlines. Hold on, come on, can I get a flight? Can I get a flight? Can I get a flight? So I ended up booking a flight to Akron, and I had the $500 for that. Hey, well worth it, well worth it. So, and then my grandfather came out and got me, and I had no luggage. So I was wearing some jeans and my shirt from my job, and yeah, I'm not gonna come in that. So we stopped by a store, and I bought this. Yes, this outfit is an hour old. It is an hour old. So I didn't have the time to iron it, but bought some lotion at the store. It has been a long day, but by the grace of God, I am here amongst all of you awesome, lovely people that have changed my life, and you have created who I am. I was brought up with a Catholic education. I started elementary school at St. Timothy in Garfield Heights. I went to school in Cleveland Heights for middle school and junior high, but then I went to Villangela St. Joseph High School, and then John Carroll University. I mean, it just had to happen. That was the way that it went. And when I came here initially, it was just to play football. I had met Coach Regis Skate, and that was just something I wanted to do. The main reason I stayed in the area was to stay near my family. My grandmother, who passed away in 2001 to lung cancer, she was my motivation. She motivated me to want to be successful, to want to do better. And her passing was tough for me, but there was a lot of people at John Carroll that kept me up, during that time. And that's why I came here. I realized why I get cramps in the middle of the night and spasms and muscle spasms. I had been playing 3 sports for 8 years. I mean, non-stop, just constantly basketball, track, football, just constantly beating myself up in the gym, competing. I've been doing that all my life, and it takes a toll. I'm gonna need some ibuprofen or something after this. So. But I want to thank all the people that
that had a hand in rendering this award for me. It is a big deal. It is probably one of the most important things that I'll ever do. I was telling the people at my job, you need to let me go to Cleveland on the 26th. I need to get there. And I explained to them, and they were more than willing to allow me to go. Actually, the company actually paid for my ticket to come here. So that was awesome. And being at John Carroll, we can talk about football first. On the field every day, there's a term that people use that iron sharpens iron. And the guys that, Cougs, Doshot, Tom Arth, all the receivers, all the cornerbacks that have come through the years, we just made each other better, and that's why we were so successful in 2002, because we just constantly challenged each other every day in the weight room, and in the morning, early practices. I love two-a-day practices. It's 90 degrees outside. We're practicing twice a day. Let's do it. I loved it. It was a part of life. Football was life. Track was life. And it was a camaraderie that you can't get anywhere else. They say that in high school you develop relationships that you'll never have anywhere else. Well, the same goes for college. And a lot of times you see the same people that you saw in college. Eric mentioned that we competed in high school, and you get that camaraderie where you continue to make each other better, and in the pursuit of anything that you want to do, you develop relationships that that shape who you are. And I met a lot of people that really changed my life and did not make me, and did not allow me to be a statistic, that did not allow me to go do the wrong things. This Catholic education has really shaped who I am. What was I saying? The biggest thing I loved about football was just the competition. Like I said, I got a chance to talk to Coach Volkman, and just one of the things that really, when I first got here as a freshman, one of the things that really stood out was that they almost made a defense for me. It was Dunklin left and Dunklin right. And anytime that I caught a ball, he would yell at his defense, "You let him get me, you let him catch the ball," and it validated that I was doing well. When you're an offensive player and you have a defensive coach, talking to his players about you, that's a pretty big deal. So that was awesome, and that kind of gave me the motivation to continue to try to get better, competing against those guys every day in and day out. What did I say? And I apologize for not keeping in contact with a lot of people. I was in the military the last 6 years, so I was away. I was living in Virginia. I was on deployment. I was out to sea. Honestly, had I re-enlisted, I would probably be over there shooting Tomahawk missiles right now. I was a Tomahawk missile tech, and I just read in the news that the Philippine Sea just launched about 47 Tomahawk missiles out there, and that probably would have been me on one of my ships had I stayed in, but I decided to go another route and get back into the workforce. But I apologize for, not keeping in contact with a lot of people, and I'm so happy to see everyone, and I will get everyone's number. I got 2 phones. I'm gonna get everybody's number. And if I call you on a Saturday morning just to see how you're doing, don't yell at me because I'm calling you at 9 o'clock. Just be happy to hear from me. But I definitely want to keep in contact because, like I said, you people shaped my life. I would not be where I am today without, each of you touching me, in some way. We can move over to track real quick. I didn't even want to run track when I came to John Carroll. I just didn't want to do it. I did it through high school, and Coach Ken Prince at St. Joe's kind of pushed me, and it was, it was okay, just something to stay in shape, until football season, basketball season came back around. But I met Coach Mann. And, when he found out I was coming here, he met me in the hallway one day and he said, "Hey, Dunklin, how you doing?" And I said, "Oh, here we go. I don't want to run track. But he's like, "Oh, it's okay. I know you did well, this and this." And he was just like, "Just run the 4x4 for me." Now, Coach Mann got arrested. So that man, I'm telling you, he could sell water to a well. And I said, "All right, I'll run the 4x4. That's it. No more. Not running anything else." Well, the rest is history. I ended up running the 4x4, the 200, the 4x2, the 4x1, the 400, you know, and it's just like, all right, here we go. That man, just like all the other coaches in football, and you know, and Coach Mann, he believed in me. And there's a saying that I stick by that's a testament to my life. We never see ourselves how other people see you. You know, I'm a very humble person. And, you know, for someone else to have that amount of confidence in you, you can do anything, you know. And sometimes we require that type of validation to make for us to realize what we're capable of. You know, to realize that we're capable, that we can do almost anything if somebody else tells you can do it. And that's what I got here, positive reinforcement across the board. And Coach Mann was a man that I would have never known I could have been a national qualifier, you know, play sport for nationals. I never known I could have did that, you know, but it was his confidence that he was just like, just run it, just run the race. Just come and train these guys. And then that, you know, that competition that me and Byro had, iron sharpening iron. You know, me and George, same thing. We just made each other better every day. You're not gonna beat me today. No, it's not gonna happen. No, it's not gonna happen. And we all got better throughout that. And the next thing you know, we're graduating. It's over. And time flies when you're having fun. So you don't never know what to do. Lifelong bonds were formed here. I mentioned, you know, that those bonds allow you to validate, you know, what you're capable of. So I want to thank, you know, all the guys I play football with, you know, and it's awesome to see you guys. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. It's going down tomorrow. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. All the coaches, you know, it's just awesome to see everybody, and everybody's looking so beautiful, you know, and I'm very thankful for this award. I'm very thankful that I made it, because I was at the airport crying. I was literally crying. I was sitting there and I was just like, be positive. Be positive. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. And luckily, the travel agent that books the flights for the company I work for, she set it up for me to get to Akron, and it worked. I'm here. I'm here amongst all of you, you know, lovely people, and I thank God that, you know, I made it in one piece. Again, I say, you know, I owe who I am to, you know, having a Catholic education. I don't know where I would be without it. You know, it shaped pretty much who I am, and I kind of, you know, was mad at my mom for, you know, I don't want to go to Catholic school, you know. She almost tried to send me to Benedictine or Ignatius. No, that's not going to happen. No, sir. No girls? No, not doing that. But, you know, yeah. It's not happening. No. So, you know, she said, well, what about, you know, VA St. Joe's? And I said, okay. Are the girls there? All right, we can do that, you know. And then, as far as John Carroll, are the girls there? Okay, we can do that. You know, and it's close up. So it's cool. But once again, I thank everyone for waiting, because you probably should have been done an hour ago. So I do thank you for waiting for me and giving me this terrific honor. Again, it is going to be probably the biggest honor I will ever receive, and I am thankful. I'm not going to cry because I am ecstatic. I want to jump around and do cartwheels around the room because I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to see you folks. And with that said, I will end. Thank you very much.
Before we say our final words tonight, there are a few points of order we need to say for the good of the group. One is, as soon as we are done here, we'd like to get the 6 inductees to take a picture over here in the corner. So you definitely get your initial hugs in and all those good things. But we're going to want you, and bring your plaques with you. Take your plaques, and we're going to meet over there. We'll get a picture done. It'll be quick. We'll get it painless, and over there you can see the photographer waving over there. So that's where you want to go. 2 tickets were given to each of the inductees for the game, football game tomorrow. So you should check in your envelopes that each of the inductees that you received. It has an itinerary with the weekend as well. If you need more tickets or need to ask any questions, we recommend you talk to either Gretchen Whitebrecht or Jane Evans over there in the corner. They'll help you out. And finally, again, we want to thank the Aramark staff for their efforts tonight. A big thank you to Gretchen Whitebreck and her staff for their organization in putting on this event. I certainly want to thank everyone who attended our induction ceremony this evening. We look forward to seeing the 2014 inductees at the halftime of the football game tomorrow. I know Chris is going to attend the men's soccer match at 12 noon. There's a men's soccer match at 12 noon, volleyball match at 3, and the football game at 7. So I conclude this evening by saying go Blue Streaks. Thank you.